again, and welcome everyone to another exciting edition of Late Night Reds. I'm Skylar Webker. He's Ben Brown. Ben, I know we're in the off season. We're kind of in the thick of it as far as not having too much to go over, but we got quite a bit this week. Tons of roster moves and tons of rumors swirling out there. But before we get into it, Ben, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? It's been a crazy week, but it's all good, man. We just keep rolling. We're in playoff mode down here for football, so we're just kind of doing that and just kind of chilling, man. Things are good. How about you guys?
Just getting the whirlwind of the day job. Going back and forth to North Carolina to Ohio. It's taking a drag on me, but PTO all this week, taking some time away to have it for myself. Exactly.
Yeah, baby. That's the way to do it. That's awesome.
I know I'm not doing anything exciting, but I got tons of chores around here that I've been absolutely ignoring.
Listen, off time is off time. You ain't really got to go nowhere just to be enjoying being off, dude. I've learned that. I've learned it in my old age. You know what I mean? Like, just because I'm off don't mean I got to go nowhere. Just being off is enough.
There you go. Exactly. I'm excited. It'll be fun. But hey, as we get into the Reds winter, I should say, we kind of have some roster decisions. Jesse puts in here. He's anxious to see how this team shapes up over the winter. Definitely could use some good bats and some overall run production. Well, some of the books have come out from Vegas and any of the betting platforms that the Reds are actually the betting favorite to land Kyle Schwarber right now, which was not on my bingo card.
No, not at all. Especially since we're known as a team not to be big spenders, and Kyle Schwarber is going to cost a lot of money. I'm assuming that the hometown thing is playing a lot into it. Also, too, like unbeknownst to everybody else, in a lot of ways, he said that he's want to come home and play in front of his hometown team. But he's also not an idiot, right? Like he's not going to take pennies on the dollar just to come play at home. Like you're going to have to pay him what it's worth. And if everybody does their homework and I'm sure his financial people do, and his agent has, like, they know what they're, in order to make that happen, they know how that's got to work and play out. And on the books, it's just not feasible, but you never know, dude. Like, if you're looking to make a big splash and get some things done and take your, the Reds could completely surprise us here, because I think he wants to be here.
I think so too. And Nick Krall has come out and said that the payroll for this team is going to be similar to last year's. So like roughly gives them about $30 million to play with. That's with all the, the just guessing on people's arbitration numbers or anything like that. They'll roughly have about $30 million freed up between kind of the non-tendered guys and Nick Martinez. At this moment, they haven't brought anybody back or anything like that. So there's about $30 million. This team doesn't need a ton. I think we've been very vocal. Like, this team doesn't need a lot to get over there. So they could make a decent run at Kyle Schwarber. Now, I don't know, 30 million is probably too much for him, but if you can get Kyle Schwarber at like a 18 to 20 million, which is probably what his rate would be just given his age.
Yeah,
that's enticing.
What's he, 32?
I thought he was like 36. Let me look.
Is he really? Is he that old?
Oh no, you're right. He is 32. You're right.
Is he 32? Okay. Yeah, 32 at I mean, just doing the numbers. I mean, yeah, I think you're right, spot on. 18 to 20 would get him. But where they're going to fall where I think will be the issue will be the years, and agreeing on the years. Because I would assume that he would 32, he's probably going to want 4 or 5
Yeah, 3,
maybe
4, 5. Around.
3,
I
4,
mean, longer than that, probably.
somewhere in there. I mean, I don't know. It would be nice though. It'd be nice for that to work out. I think the years part is what'll get them, but hopefully they can get something figured out as far as getting him the years he wants. And I think that I think they'll be a little bit more flexible than they have been, even though they've said they want to stay where they are. Um, you get a guy like him who wants to be here. He's a good clubhouse guy. He's a local guy. And we've talked about that, the veteran, right? The guy that's
Mm-hmm.
been there, done that, been around the horn, hits for power. Like he kind of checks all the boxes of what we've been looking for.
Yeah, I mean he's A1 on our free agency shopping list, but I'm sure
Mhm.
he's A1 on a lot of people's free agency shopping list. I know
Yeah.
Philly's not in the market of letting him go. I know there's a ton of other teams that need a big time bat. So I do think he'll have a competitive market. I don't know how well the Reds will fare in that. But it's exciting to see that. I mean, these sports books aren't throwing out those numbers if there isn't smoke behind that fire, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. No, absolutely. There's definitely something there. And I think that this roster is constructed in a way that it's appealing to Schwarber, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like having young guys in your lineup, having guys there that you get the opportunity to possibly finish a career around guys like Ellie De La Cruz. You get to finish your career around all these young pitchers that you have, your Hunter Greens, your Chase Burns. You're going to have a good pitching staff around you. And I think there'll be another move that they'll make to fill that outfielder spot as well. So I think there's a lot of appealing things. And you get to play for Terry Francona, which has got to be a plus too, right? So I think
Oh,
there's a lot of appealing things there that could pull him there. It's just um, if the Reds can hit his sweet spot.
a front office to get it done.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And honestly, I would think that he would want to finish. I mean, I think most people would enjoy finishing their careers in their hometown. Like,
Yeah.
if you sign a 4-year deal, that's 32. You turn 33 during the season. Finish your career at 36, 37 years old, like in your hometown for your hometown team. I think that's an ideal move.
I mean, that's a movie like script to me.
Hmm. Yeah.
Outside of the Kyle Schwarber stuff, I know that that's kind of really the only free agent and the only thing linking the Reds to him right now. But the Reds did announce some of the roster moves and non-tenders. They've non-tendered or declined options, I should say, for Scott Barlow, Austin Hayes, and Brent Suter. I think we saw the Austin Hayes and Brent Suter ones coming. The Barlow one, he did well, but I think his option was for like $6 million,
Yeah.
and he's not worth $6 million. I'll be frank about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that number hurt him
Mm-hmm.
because he's just not a $6 million pitcher. So, I mean, if you're talking about, 2.5, 3, somewhere in there, then you're like, okay, now you're more in our range. I can't justify paying $6 million for Scott Barlow. So, and the other
Yeah.
two, like you said, we kind of saw those coming. Um, you know, Brent Suter and Austin Hayes for what they were worth. I mean, you kind of saw the writing on the wall for what was going to happen with them at the end of the year.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this is the next thing that the Reds need to have on their checklist are bullpen arms, because we're losing them pretty good over here.
Yeah.
Obviously losing Nick Martinez, losing Emilio Pagan to free agency. Now you lost Barlow and Suter, and not lost. They could re-sign these guys to smaller deals or anything like that. But yeah, that's four arms out of that bullpen. I think they got a little bit of work cut out for him for a bullpen. I think my camera keeps freezing. I think they have a little bit of work to do in the bullpen, and we hit on that in season because guys like Tony Santillan making 82 appearances a year should not happen. So we'll see how they fare in that. I mean, obviously, bullpen's a little bit easier or cheaper to piece together, which I know I said cheaper, and that had to have the Castellini's ears burning. But there's always bullpen arms out there.
Yeah, there are, and I think that's the one area where you can. I don't want to say go cheaper, but that's the one area where you have an opportunity to get a lot of guys for a little bit more in your price range to be able to do what you need to get done. I don't know what their plan is, but I would assume that part of that is trying to save money in order to add to bolster the lineup, and then kind of fill in guys for the bullpen. So I think that's kind of what the plan is, and I do think that they may. I think a guy like, I don't know if Nick Martinez is in the cards, but I think Pagan possibly could still be coming back. I mean, he's a guy that I think could be in the cards for him, and you just have to find some more bullpen arms. But yeah, I think that they're trying to structure some deals around to where they can make some things happen in free agency that they want to make happen.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to make quite a bit of deals because it was also kind of announced their minor league transactions here. I'll zoom in so it's a little more legible for everybody, but quite a bit of names here, and I would say a lot of names that we thought might be somewhere in this Reds organization. Obviously, Buck Farmer, TJ Antone, Levi Jordan. Where is his name here? Where'd he go? Alex Young. A lot of names that we've seen kind of in and out of that bullpen. But the thing that keyed off to me with this tweet is there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left-handed pitching kind of in the depths of this organization that are no longer here. So a team that's already thin at left-handed pitching as a whole just got a lot thinner.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for us, like you said, because it's our Achilles heel, right? We were missing left-handed bullpen arms, and we, like you said, we just let 6 of those guys walk away. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, there are a lot of surprising names on here, and guys that we thought that would be around, but the left-handed pitching, the loss of the left-handed relievers, making me a little nervous, because that's where we struggled. I mean, we needed some of those arms. So I'm not sure what the plan is or what the deal is with that, but hopefully they've got something planned in place to be able to bring some more left-handed arms in. Because seeing some of these names on here kind of makes you nervous that all these guys walk.
Yeah, and pair that with Suter. I think the only left-handed pitcher they have right now is Sam Ball.
Sam Ball, yeah. So I don't know what the plan is or what their strategy is. And once again, too, like we talked about, like this could be a part of them just retooling what they want as far as guys in the bullpen and guys on the roster. So, I mean, this could all be a big part of a different plan of bringing some different guys in after an evaluation period and seeing what else is out there. And not, and not even not even a bad thing, but just maybe there's some different guys out there that they want, and these guys just don't fit what they're looking for.
Yeah, and listen, obviously these are minor league transactions here. There's a good chance we never get to hear any of these guys' names ever. But it's just the lack of depth that they have at left-handed pitching right now is concerning. I mean, you have great starters in Lodolo and Abbott, but then it gets real thin, real fast.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that has to be one of the main things that they're looking at, right? Like that has to be something that they're going to address in the off season. But you bring up a good point. A lot of these guys are minor league players, so but it just hurts your depth in general, just overall. So I don't know what the plan is. I'm hoping that they have a plan to be able to refill and retool some of the guys they may want to have on the roster. But 6 left-handed pitchers out of your farm system is usually a concerning thing, because, like you said, the lack of depth that we had already in left-handed relievers and left-handed pitching is a bit concerning.
Yeah, Mr. Juan has a thread of moves that he'd like to see here. So since it's in separate messages, I'm not going to pull them all up, but I'll read them off here.
Yeah.
His ideal offseason is Trent Grisham on a 4-year, $72 million deal with a player option. Sign Devin Williams, $5 million with incentives. Are we thinking the same Devin Williams? Is he a free agent? I didn't know that. That'd be a huge guy to get for your closer role. Trade for I will not be able to get that name. Kirkening. I don't know if I know who that is. And then sign Drew Pomerantz for 2 years. But then he says, pray that Brandon Williamson can be a lefty out of the pen. So I like a lot of those moves. The only thing that I hesitate on is it seems like anytime the Reds try to sign people in free agency is when they turn into like the worst versions of themselves ever. Obviously the Candelario, we've talked about this ad nauseum of they are terrible at signing anybody in free agency, but like always crushed trades. So I don't know how trade heavy Crawl will be this year. I mean, they have good prospects and they have cap space to take on major league contracts, but I don't know. Maybe this is why I'm not a GM, but
right. I know, dude. I say that all the time. Like, man, maybe that's just why I'm not there. But it does. It makes you wonder, though, like what the end game is, and like how this is all going to fit together. Because right now, I mean, of course, a lot of teams are in the same boat, right? Like they're adjusting rosters, there's moving guys around, they're moving minor league guys out, doing different things. So I don't think it's anything different than what a lot of teams are doing. But I think it's the uncertainty of our management, right? Like we don't know what the end game is, because usually the end game is them not wanting to spend money and then us getting a cheaper version of the things that we had before and then trying to make it work. So like that's been the role, right? Like this is the roller coaster that we've been on year after year after year. Like we want to spend money, we want to be really good, but let's not spend too much money, or let's find a guy that was great, 2 years ago. Maybe he can be great for us this year. Let's give him a whole bunch of money. Then he winds up being terrible. Let's cut him, get rid of him, bring another it's like that same thing. So like you just don't know. You really just don't know what you're going to get. Are they committed to this run that we're going to be on with making the playoffs this year? Are they committed to buying into that, putting people around this roster, or is it just going to be we'll retool some guys, we'll figure some things out, do some different things, and we'll be right back where we are. We'll be a mid 500 team, hoping we make the playoffs. Like you just don't know. If our management had better history, we would be in a better position to be able to predict what we're going to be.
You like the first part of your argument here. It was just like, oh, so Nick Kroll has given us we got McDonald's at home because we're just getting it cheaper.
Yeah. You got McDonald's money,
I was just giggling to myself as you're going on, like,
you got McDonald's money.
We got Kyle Schwarber at home,
right? Yep.
I have to also go because Robert puts in here that when we were talking about like maybe this is why we're not GMs, and he puts in here neither is Nick. I do think Nick takes a lot of the brunt of a lot of it because I think he's handcuffed by a lot from ownership. I think it's very obvious, and I mean it's a big reason why Dick Williams left when they immediately like closed their purse.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was, I mean, you have to think about that. I guess you're only allowed to do however much management lets you do. So as much as we try to put on Nick Kroll, like he can only do so much. I mean, because it ultimately falls down on ownership. So
yeah, unfortunately. And unfortunately for Dick, he doesn't have fantastic owners. We've been very public about that. But I guess we can move on to another big thing that, well, there are a couple of big things that have gone on since we've last talked, but Terry Francona, he went on to the what was it? Baseball's Not Boring podcast, or Baseball Isn't Boring podcast, and they asked him about these Hunter Green rumors, and I'll read to you what he said. I mean, he says, "I don't think those things are going to happen. Pitching is too hard for us to acquire in free agency, and we've been fortunate to have developed some pretty good starting pitchers. Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott took big steps forward, and we have to keep Hunter Green on the mound because when he's there, he's as good as anybody." That tells me that Tito is not trading away. It tells me two things. Tito is not trading away Hunter Green. He knows how expensive starting pitching is in the free agency market.
Yep. No, absolutely. And that's the thing, man. Like people act like good starting pitching is easy to come by. And we essentially have two aces in Abbott and Green. We have two aces. Lodolo, who could be an ace if when he stays healthy and does what he does, what we've seen him do, could be an ace anywhere. You know what I mean? So that's three guys that are young, that are under contract, that are lights out. And then you add the other two guys, and then on top of that, you got a guy like Chase Burns who's nipping at their heels. I mean, like that guy's right there. He's ready. So it's the pitching, getting a pitching rotation like that already under contract is hard to do. And he brings up a great point. Like that stuff ain't cheap. Like to get guys that can come in and do what those guys have been able to do, you can't go in free agency and get that. You can't go out and find guys that match those guys 1 through 5 every night. You can't go out and get that. Like those are things that are hard to come by. So I what it sounds like to me is that like people are crazy thinking that we were going to trade Hunter Green, because you just can't replicate that, right? Like you can't do something and make what we've got here already now under contract. You can't redo that. You can't replace that, and you can't redo that.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point. Like they have 4 like pretty like ace upper rotation guys. Not to mention you get Louder back because he's been reinstated from the 60-day finally after missing all of this year. We'll see how much missing a year of baseball took out of him. We saw it like really hurt Matt McClain. You still got Brady Singer in here. I mean, you got arms at the major league level, and I think you need those arms, and not only just for the 162, but we see how important pitching is in the postseason. And if you want to keep this momentum that you have and keep getting there, you're going to need the pitching to do anything once you get there. So it's good to feel a little easier about all those rumors.
Mhm.
Now, granted, Tito isn't the GM, but
He is the GM. Yeah.
yeah, there you go. There you go. This is Tito's team.
Listen, this is his team, dude. They ain't, if he says that he ain't moving, he ain't moving.
Yeah, so I'm all for it. I'm all for Tito putting those things to bed early. I
Yep.
mean, because there were some trade propositions getting thrown out there by other teams' writers. I saw one from the Diamondbacks about like Ketel Marte, and I was like, yeah, that's cool to get Ketel Marte, but I would not give up Hunter Green for him.
No. Mm-mm. Not at all. Not at all. And I think that's where a lot of that comes from. It's a lot of that's wishful thinking, right? Like there are teams that are really, really close to being championship contenders that if you add a Hunter Green to them, they become contenders instantly.
Yeah.
Especially a healthy Hunter Green. Like if Hunter Green's healthy, like, if he's healthy, like he makes your team instantly better. It makes you a playoff contending team if you're close. So
Yeah.
a lot of teams, like you said, like your Diamondbacks, your Astros, your Red Sox, those guys are like, oh yeah, the Reds want to trade Hunter Green. You're like, really? Like because that if he goes to those teams, he instantly makes them better. And I think a lot of that's drummed up by their media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean that's kind of the rumor mill. You gotta write what you want into existence. I get it, and obviously you're trying to get eyes into whatever you're putting out there. So I get it, but
Mhm.
it just feels good that Tito understands. Like Tito thinks like the fan here.
Absolutely. Yeah, he definitely understands what's going on, and he definitely knows that he's been around the block several times and understands how important that starting pitching is. And that he's got he's got it made as far as starting pitching goes. Like that's the one thing he really doesn't have to chase in the offseason.
Yeah, I think the offseason should be pretty short for the Reds. Power
Mhm.
bats, relievers, like a bullpen, build a bullpen. I mean,
Yep.
it'd be great to bring back like Pagan or something, but like rebuild a bullpen. I mean, you got a couple guys that seem like they found their footing. Obviously, Santion, but guys like Spire or Phillips who
Mhm.
did really well towards the end of the year last year. You got just a couple of guys down there that's felt good in their positioning. You just gotta replenish with the ones that you lost, and that should be it. That should be it for the Reds, and then everybody should be saying title contenders. They mean a title, pennant contenders.
Mhm. No, absolutely. That should be the end goal, man. Is building that thing around what you got. Um, it does. It seems like our our free agency is really plain and simple. It literally is. Like we all know we need an outfielder. We all know we need a power bat and to retool our bullpen. Now, making that happen is going to be how it's going to that's going to be interesting, but everybody knows what the Reds need in order to get over the top. So hopefully they make those moves and do those things, and I have a good feeling with the way that they're doing things now that maybe they're trying to set themselves up to be able to do so.
You hope so. I mean, like I said, 30 mil, you could rebuild a bullpen and get a power bat for 30 mil. Like that's doable. I mean, you're not going to get a Juan Soto, but the Reds were
Mhm.
never in a Juan Soto market, so
Right.
they could do it. They could get that done and have this team ready to go this season. Go all in this season before you get this lockout that's going to happen, and like be fun, be competitive, make a deep push into this thing. I think they can do it, and I think they could do it without overspending and doing the things that we're jealous other teams do.
No, no, absolutely. I think there's a way of doing it and doing it effectively. And I think there's a way that you're able to retool and do what you need to do, honestly, without really breaking the bank. I mean, because we already talked about before, we've got pieces in place. It's not like this is this isn't like this is a whole like retool, you know what I mean? You're not trying to reshape a whole roster. Like
Right.
you literally need some bullpen pieces, some bullpen pieces, an outfielder, and a power bat. And you know, no particular order, but you need those pieces in order for us to be successful. And I think that you know, I think that they understand that too. I hope anyway.
Tito understands.
For sure. He for sure does.
Yeah, no doubt. So one other thing before we kind of get to our closing topic here is that Ke'Bryan Hayes is looking to get his first platinum glove. He's one of the 5 finalists or that qualify for it. That would be sick if we traded for a guy and he's a platinum glove, becomes a platinum glove winner. Obviously the defense was incredible before, but I don't know. That'd be a great thing to just further exclamation point. Like, oh yeah, it was smart that we traded for a third baseman.
No, absolutely. And on top of that too, like I don't know who else is in the running, but I would put up his last 30 games of defense, just on the playoff run alone, the plays that he was able to make, I would put those up against anybody, any third baseman in the league, as far as just saving runs, making smart plays, making difficult plays look easy, barehanded throws. You know, I mean, he did everything over there defensively at third base, and he proved like with that kind of defense, you can win baseball games because he was incredible, and he saved so many runs and just saved so many just not only just game winning plays, but just games to stop runs, games to stop innings, you know what I mean? He did so many plays to stop those types of things. He was just invaluable over there.
I agree. And apparently the voters didn't agree because I just checked when we'd find that out. We found it out 2 days ago. Fernando Tatis won the Platinum Glove, which I admittedly haven't won. I haven't seen a lot of Padres games, so I can't verify if that's deserving or not.
Hold on. But there are stats for that, right? Like, isn't there a defensive wins against replacement and all that stuff?
Yeah, and Ke'Bryan Hayes is first in all of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's numbers to back up. There's numbers to back up. He was the best defensive third baseman. That's why sometimes, dude. That's why sometimes I'm not a fan of awards like that because a lot of that stuff just goes on name. Like I like Fernando Tatis. I don't have anything against him, but if the numbers say this dude, there's a reason why we have statistics and numbers and all the different things that we use and the metrics that we use that show how good he was defensively. And then you still give it to a guy that was worse than him defensively. What's the point of having the numbers?
Your guess is as good as mine because I said, admittedly, haven't watched a ton of Padres games, but when your guy is 99th percentile in fielding and 98th percentile in fielding run value, that should be pretty good.
That should be a lock, right? That should be a lock. Like I said, I don't have anything against Fernando Tatis Jr. He's a fine baseball player. I really don't, but you can't tell me, and like I said, I guess I can't say that because I don't watch a whole lot of Padres games, but you would be hard pressed to prove to me. You put their tapes on side by side, and you tell me that he's a better defensive player than Ke'Bryan Hayes. Maybe
Seth's
That's
putting
true.
in here. It's the
He
hair.
does have nice hair. That's true. I'll give him that. That would be hard. I'd be hard pressed if we put their tapes on side by side that his would be better than Key Brian Hayes'. But I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't watch a
I would
whole
agree
lot of
with you.
Padres games, but Key Brian Hayes was incredible.
I agree. So just get him next year. Go win another Gold Glove next year and win the Platinum Glove next year.
Heck yeah.
So the last thing that we have as our topic list here is the Reds put out their fan vote for the Reds Hall of Fame. And to anybody that hasn't been to the Reds Hall of Fame, it's incredible. It is one of the best in sports. It is so good, so fun. I remember taking my wife. We went down to a Reds game, and she's like, "You want to go to a museum?" And I was like, "Listen, this is awesome," and she was blown away as well. Not even a baseball or Reds fan, just like, wow, the heritage and history and storytelling within the Reds Hall of Fame Museum is incredible. And we have our call for the fan vote here. I have the photo up on screen, but for our listening audience, it's Homer Bailey, Francisco Cordero, Zach Kozar, Aaron Hannigan, Mike Leake, Brandon Phillips, Scott Rowland, and I can't even say the last one.
Edison Volquez.
Volquez.
Yeah.
So to me, these are a lot of guys in that 2011 to 2013 team. Obviously, Homer Bailey, Brandon Phillips, Zach Kozar. Like, these are a lot of guys that I want to say, like, were there in the postseason until this year. Like, we've gone that long of a gap to where some of these guys that we remember seeing playing fairly recently are now into the kind of Hall of Fame vote here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And dude, there's a lot of good names on here, man. Aaron Harang was solid for a lot of years. Of course, Brandon Phillips. I mean, that guy, he was really good for a long time. Homer Bailey, 2 no-hitters. I mean, there's a lot of good names. Edison Volquez was incredible as a starter. Yeah, there's a lot of good names on there. Coco Cordero was another good one, man, as a closer. Gosh, how many is it just one person gets in?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think they maybe do more than one.
I wonder if it's top 2 or top 3, or I wonder if it's a percentage. Like, if you get like 40% of the vote or whatever. I don't know how it is, but all those dudes, I think,
Seth puts in here 2 get in.
2 get in. I wonder if it's by percentage though. Like, if it's like you got to get over 30, like 60% of the vote or something like that. But
yeah, I think we can put Brandon Phillips. Like,
Brandon Phillips, yeah, that was I was going to say. Brandon Phillips, no brainer. Like, that's Aaron. I mean, Brandon Phillips to me, no brainer, number 1. Gosh dang, dude. I
think it might also come down to public perception of a lot of these guys, because I know Homer Bailey was kind of a prickly pear to around the community piece of a lot of stuff. So,
and Aaron Harang, I thought, was a pretty good dude. Yeah, Aaron Harang was a pretty good dude. He started a lot of opening days for us and was pretty good. He was a pretty good ace for us for a lot of years. So I'd probably lean towards him. I know Scott Rowland has a lot of love in Cincinnati country, but he's not to me, he's more of a Philly. I mean, even though he ended his career as a Red.
Fair.
But for me, it would probably be Harang, and Brandon Phillips would probably be for me. But yeah, that's just me. But
probably, I mean, Brandon Phillips, A1 day 1. I mean, he exemplified everything Cincinnati. It was great. From there, absolutely. Like, I don't know. I could go Aaron because, like you said, he was opening day starter for this team for a while. He was the ace of the rotation for a while. Zach Kozar was fun for a while. didn't
Yeah.
stay too very long. Same thing with
Yeah.
Mike Leake. But those would be
Yep.
the other guys that I would have on like the follow up there.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. And Homer Bailey, I mean,
Just
even though he was a prickly pear, he did have 2 no-hitters. I mean, he pitched in some big games. Was he an all-star? Was Homer Bailey an all-star?
I think so. I know the ending of the Homer Bailey era wasn't all too
Yeah, it wasn't
fantastic.
great. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Wow, Homer Bailey has never been an all-star.
Oh, really?
That's hard
I
to
thought he
believe.
was an all-star. Yeah. I thought Aaron Harang was an all-star, though, once. So, and I think Edison Volquez was definitely an all-star. So yeah. So, I mean, there's some good names on there for sure. Brandon Phillips for sure would be my A1. But I could go with Harang or Bailey or Volquez, either one of those. But I would probably go with Harang.
Let's see if he. I think Harang is probably the other choice. It seems like a lot of people. Mr. Juan's got Phillips and Harang.
Yeah.
Josh has Phillips and then Homer Harang. And Josh puts in here. Harang won like 15 games several times. He was just always on the bad Reds teams.
Bad teams. Yeah. He was definitely a victim of bad Reds baseball, but he was always the bright spot because he was always like 15 and 13, but he was always really good. But the teams were.
Aaron Harang. Aaron Harang was also never an all-star.
Really?
That's crazy. He finished 4th in Cy Young, but was never an all-star.
Wow. I definitely would have thought he was an all-star at least once.
He also led the league in strikeouts and wasn't an all-star.
Wow.
That's crazy to me. That
is crazy.
I thought for sure Homer Bailey snuck into one, but that's crazy.
Too. Wow. Yeah, I did not. You shocked me with that one. I definitely thought Harang was at least in one. You know, when the Reds were bad,
in here. Harang was always overshadowed by Arroyo, so I guess, sure. But Arroyo was the flashier tool. But I mean, lots of years here in Cincinnati.
Harang was a workhorse.
He was a workhorse. Jiminy Christmas. I'm just looking at his baseball reference page, and man, this guy took the ball every game.
Yes, he did, dude. Aaron Harang was tough.
32, 36, 34, 30.
Yeah, he was a workhorse.
Man, there's a lot of comments going on with the Harang, though. Seth's putting out, remembering when Dusty hung him out to dry, the 18th inning in San Diego. Oh, I remember that too. Jeez. Damn. Harang never got the publicity.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting how the fans vote for the Hall of Fame for the 2026 class. I think, like you said, Brandon Phillips you could probably ink that one in. After that, there probably is a good call for a lot of these guys, honestly.
Yep. No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that'll probably do it for us. We'll keep everybody updated as free agency rolls on, and you might see a couple of emergency podcast episodes if we land any big fish. We encourage everybody to use our code Riverfront to get $20 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. Doesn't have to be Reds tickets. It could be Bengals tickets. It could be Disney on Ice. It could be whatever you want to go to. Just use our code Riverfront and get $20 off your first purchase through SeatGeek. Join our ever-growing Cincinnati sports fans through Patreon and support the show. That's patreon.com/RiverfrontCincy. The lowest bar of entry, I think, is $2 a month. Gets you access to our Slack channel. If you've paid and haven't received access, please reach out to us on X, and we'll respond. But It's so fun. We're in there all the time. We shoot it. We shoot the rumors that we see and share it around. It's where we get a lot of the content for this show. Is just everything that everybody's been seeing. So it's a good time over there. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch the latest episodes, not only from our show, but the Riverfront Red show, and also Welcome to the Jungle. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Riverfront Cincy. Please subscribe to the audio version of this podcast. We're on all of them for free, and give us a rating and reviews over on iTunes and elsewhere. Be a friend, tell a friend. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't. We're just Cincinnati sports fans making a show for other Cincinnati sports fans. So for that, he's Ben Brown. I'm Skylar Wepker. Go Reds.
Go Reds.